2020 is going to be a very busy year. I think we're going to see a variety of geopolitical factors. Obviously China is one to watch. It's currently stricken with the coronavirus, so we need to see how quickly it responds from that, whether that has a macroeconomic impact, whether that slows Chinese growth and makes trade differentials. That's a good question. Russia, I think, is what we should also not take our eye off, not just in terms of the fact that it imports an enormous amount of natural gas into and through Europe, but also because it's become something of a kingmaker in the Middle East and the Levant. So questions on Russian aspirations, I think, remain very, very prominent. The way in which it wants to cooperate with NATO or without NATO, keeping an eye on the Ukraine. I don't see Russia doing anything other than remaining very, very firmly into the annexed area of Donbass that it's conquered there. What will be interesting, I think, is to see whether it can strike a bargain with the European Union in terms of strategy, gas imports and exports as well, and also I think the new European Commission with Ursula von der Leyen. I think also other areas are the fact that you've got a new European Union coming in. When they finally decide on the budget, the way in which that money is spent will have profound foreign policy consequences as well. So whether Europe decides to go for increased defence and security spending, how they're going to block the budget hole caused by the departure of the United Kingdom, how they're going to deal with Russia, and also how they're going to deal with trade spats with regards to the United States. And I think that brings me to the final point, and where is the United States in all this? Obviously we're in an election year, so there will be a lot of optics, I think, coming out of the White House, whether they're kind of low-level military attempts or even wins in places like Iran, which is a very high-stakes strategy, whether it's rather more sort of low-stakes trade agreements with the European Union, or hopefully with the United Kingdom. Depends who's at the front of that line in terms of negotiating those free trade agreements. Also, I think Trump's ability to try to continue to push the populism rhetoric button is going to be very, very important as well. So you've got Russia, you've got China, you've got the United States, and you've got Europe and the Brexiting United Kingdom right in the middle. It's really important for business to understand the political lay of the land. Geopolitics is the term we use to talk about the inter-regional connection, if you like, of states and non-state actors. So you've got states, which are major players, you've got borders, and you've got the markets that they represent. So large regional markets like the European Union, or a large actor like Russia or China or the United States, they have political and foreign policy strategies and decisions they have to make, and they have an instant impact, if you like, on the investment climate of their country, on the way in which trade preferences are carved out, or even larger commitments like climate change. 2020 and I think the years beyond are going to see significant changes in terms of the geopolitical commitment of states to things like defense and climate change. That's going to have a profound impact on the market. So businesses need to be, I think, savvy. They need to be geopolitically savvy in terms of the imperatives, the strategic imperatives, those really tough decisions that states have to make. And those decisions have a huge bearing on the way in which the market responses are tailor-made. So they don't want to be at the end of that food chain. So it's very, very important, I think, to read reports and to talk to people and analysts who understand the interconnection and I think the interdependence of geopolitics on the one side and geoeconomics on the other.